When children have internet access at home, don't be surprised when they're more confident, creative, and enthusiastic in the classroom. If your child qualifies for free school lunches, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. Visit connecttocompete.org/Cox or call 855-222-3252 to learn more. Cox Connect to Compete. Smart tools for school.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us today and braving the elements for this first State of the Community Address. Joint presentation of the City of Fairview Park and the Fairview Park City Schools. I'm Bill Wagner, the Superintendent of Schools, and I'd like to thank the Mayor for suggesting that we bring our two presentations together and for her invitation to host this unique event here at the Gemini Center. I'd also like to thank our community organizations for being here tonight, and certainly our outstanding students and staff for their amazing work, and once again, our chamber orchestra. Let's give them one more round of applause. A lot of folks presenting this evening. The district is excited to share with you what we call the Fairview Advantage. It's a framework for student success, which guides our work in delivering exceptional services and academic programs that challenge the mind and instill the joy of learning and responsible citizenship for our students. I'm very proud of our district leadership team, our strategic planning steering committee, and the advisory group and our Board of Education for their work this fall developing this robust and thoughtful approach to the learning and leading process. The Fairview Advantage framework is part of our new district strategic plan, and hopefully, as you came in, you all received a copy of the strategic plan on one side and the Fairview Advantage on the other. It's based around our vision statement, which asserts that we are a community united, empowering each other to learn differently, care deeply, and aspire to excellence. This vision goes far beyond just the purview of the schools, challenging us all in Fairview to work together for our community and each other.
In talking about the format for this joint presentation, Bill and I agreed that the Fairview Advantage provided an outstanding guide that highlights the work of both the city and the schools over the past year. Today we are excited to step through each of the 9 components of the wheel as we highlight both city and school accomplishments and share with you the collective Fairview Advantage.
The first element of the Fairview Advantage is the ability to innovate. What does this look like for our students? I'm sure you saw some of that innovation as you entered the room today. Our students are developing successful solutions to real-world problems. On a routine basis, they are researching current topics and developing creative ideas that result in tangible and useful contributions to our city, our nation, and the world. In the fall and early winter, the district sponsored a community book read of Most Likely to Succeed, preparing our kids for the innovation era. And there's lots of copies still over at the library if you're interested. We then hosted a regional screening in January of the companion documentary film that challenged viewers to think differently about education in the 21st century and showed examples of how schools are changing to help students be most successful in this new, fast-paced, highly competitive world economy. We then followed the screening with 3 community conversations that were open to the public. The community book read and community conversations were all in partnership with the great staff at the Fairview Park Branch Library, and I think I saw Elaine out there somewhere as well. Thank you very much for coming.
The city's Think Differently, Innovate, and Create movement has allowed a wide variety of ideas and solutions that will make our community better. We accepted the opportunity given to us from the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office for dash cameras in a number of our police cars. With 27 sworn officers and 21 auxiliary officers, along with almost 14,000 calls for police service, having dash cams in our cars help with officer safety, professionalism, and performance and training. We also have mobile data terminal computers in each of our police cars that are very valuable tools to our officers on the road, allowing instant checks from driving records, warrants, stolen vehicles, or criminal history. At City Hall, we created the innovative movement through EPA's best practices to reduce stormwater runoff. This program continues to be widely used throughout the world for planning, design related to stormwater runoff, combined sewers, sanitary sewers, and drainage systems. We created the concept here and had a section of our own City Hall follow the EPA guidelines for stormwater management. New drainage, pavers, and green space were constructed under these guidelines as we do our part in reducing runoff water. We also added a new entrance to the back of City Hall to welcome our residents. Every resident enjoys their community when it has a hometown feeling and charming atmosphere. Last year, we engaged the direction of American in Bloom, an organization that envisions communities across the country as welcoming and vibrant places to live, work, and play. Judges arrived from different states, and they spent time in our community and left us with an innovative plan from colorful flowers and trees to ideas for celebrating our heritage. Our innovative and creative movement shows that we can never do it alone. Do you think volunteering is just a nice thing for others to do? A growing body of research has pointed out to the fact that that is not the case, stating social, emotional, and even physical health benefits from volunteering. Highlighted on the screen are Fairview Park residents giving back to the community at Freshen Up Fairview Park, senior lunches, Adopt a Tombstone at our very own Fairview Park Cemetery, our Girl Scouts planting at Bain Cabin, and dozens of residents planting over 100 trees at Bain Park and Plant Fairview Day. And you do not need to look any further than our own very own senior center that shines with volunteers. To over 9,000 hot lunches served annually to health programs, movies, concerts, art classes, and special events, the center is filled daily with friendly people. This year, the seniors of our center became quite innovative in raising awareness of elderly needs, and they welcomed the community in to Lenten fish fries prepared and served by volunteers every Friday during Lent, with all the proceeds going back into the center for programming.
Creativity has long been the hallmark of the American education system. The Fairview Advantage framework describes how we use a wide range of techniques and experiences to help our students develop original ideas and create useful products based on what they learn. We all remember what school used to be like, and I pulled one out of the archives here. Okay, it was Google Images, it wasn't the archives. But remember the desks in rows, the teacher in the front of the room at the chalkboard. We don't even use chalk anymore. Students sitting all day long, taking notes and memorizing facts, formulas, and equations, only to forget them as soon, as the test passed. Our students are actively engaged all day. They are working in teams, conducting experiments, building things, moving around the room, and creating products that show what they know and how it applies to the world around them. It's quite a bit louder and a whole lot messier, but the learning is deeper and lasts much longer. Yes, students still need to take notes and they still need to memorize and recite, but they are frequently challenged to combine it all together to create something new. No one can question the impact that computer programming has had on our world. Our schools and students at all grade levels participate in a variety of computer coding challenges, and you may have seen a couple of them here this evening, and activities throughout the year. We have students as young as first grade developing increasingly sophisticated computer programs and completing course modules in online computer coding classes as early as the first grade. It's truly amazing to see what they can do.
And at the city, we continue creating for our residents of all ages, focusing on health, wellness, and our community. Last year, we adopted a new program, Simple Recycling, creating convenient opportunities to encourage recycling. In the 8 months the program was in place, Simple Recycling collected 53,274 pounds, or 26.2 tons of clothing and household items, keeping these materials out of the landfill, and for which the city received $533. Students in Fairview Park have another line of defense if they are unsure while traveling to or from school. Safe Spots created partnerships with businesses to create safe havens for the youth of our community. These local businesses act as safe havens to remove students from situations they perceive to be unsafe. Participating businesses are identified by the Safe Spot decal placed in their windows. And last year, we received a grant, which will be used this year, to provide equipment to create a new playground at Grannis Park. The purpose of this project is to transform the existing 1.3-acre underutilized neighborhood park into an attractive, fully accessible space by replacing outdated equipment with new, safe, ADA accessible playground. Free programs were created for our little members right here at the Gemini Center that include Christmas cookie decorations, New Year's Eve at noon party, and most recently, a Valentine Cupid craft day. Our outreach programs to the community as a whole were successful and very creative. Our food truck festival, Winterfest, Summerfest, Halloween festival, our spring fling, outdoor movie night, dive-in movie, touch a truck, big wheel races brought hundreds of people to gather together to celebrate neighbors and friends. Over 7,000 members enjoy the many activities here at our Gemini Center, which is now 8 years old. We are also a proud member of Silver Sneakers, a health and exercise program for our senior citizens.
When you investigate, you seek information. As adults in society, in our own fields of work, we must constantly access, evaluate, and use information efficiently for the issue or problem at hand. Now, more than ever, with the internet at our fingertips, we must manage the flow of information from a wide variety of sources. Human knowledge is said to double in less than 12 months, with predictions that in a few short years, it will double every 12 hours. Knowledge becomes less of a thing to possess and more of a thing to manage. We want our students to critique the information they acquire, apply it thoughtfully, and view failure as an opportunity to learn, with the understanding that analyzing and refining data and ideas is necessary for learning to occur. As a school district, we continue to investigate cutting-edge approaches to learning. We've established curriculum advisory groups around mathematics and STEAM, and you might not be able to see the bottom line there, but STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics, with new groups forming around English language arts and service learning later this spring.
Our new recreation director is going to be pretty busy this year, as he will investigate, evaluate, and use gathered information from the neighborhood, our Recreation Commission, and I notice some members are here, thank you, and the councilman in Ward 5 as we head toward a plan for a design of Nelson Rust Park. This is a 4.6-acre site that was the home of the Fairview Park Recreation Department before the Gemini Center was built. People value the time they spend in city parks, whether using a playground, playing basketball, football, soccer, or just having a picnic. Along with these expected leisure activities, parks can also provide measurable health benefits. This site has much potential, and we would like to make the best use of this space for our community. So anyone that's here tonight, if you live in that neighborhood, please see us later because we're going to put you on a committee.
The Fairview Advantage defines the area of problem solving as finding effective and thoughtful solutions to all different kinds of problems in both conventional and innovative ways. On a daily basis, we challenge each other to have the courage to ask the difficult questions that clarify various points of view and lead to better solutions. This past November, the Fairview Schools hosted a summit on the heroin epidemic plaguing our region, our state, and our country. Judge Michael Astrup facilitated a panel of experts, including Dr. Stephen Soroka, seen here, right next to our board president, Jocelyn Dalton, on the FHS auditorium stage. And Fairview Park Police Chief Eric Upperman and Fire Chief Tony Raffin also shared information as we tackled this growing problem as a community, sharing information, ideas, and resources.
Investigate, explore, and study are all familiar words shared at City Hall and with our City Council as we continue to lead to good solutions in correcting areas of our sewer system. Last year, we began the process of hiring a sewer engineering firm to design a skeletal model of our system in certain areas. This month, we reported on our first target area of West 229th, 227th, and Clifford. Lining of the West 229 and Clifford area has been recommended and is under study with City Council. This is a priority project, and we look forward to making improvements this year.
When we truly collaborate, we break out of our own individual silos and work together to discuss challenging issues, to resolve common problems, and share responsibilities and successes for our collective outcomes. Fairview High School continued their Seniors Helping Seniors project this year, where members of our senior class work with the Senior Center staff to identify and help senior citizens in our community who need help raking leaves in the fall. Gillis Elementary students and staff worked with the mayor and the community groups to honor our resident veterans each year in their Veterans Day celebration. And the district completed ALICE training this past year for all school district staff by partnering with the Fairview Police Department. ALICE, short for Alert, Lockdown, Identify, Counter, and Evacuate, is billed as the first active shooter response program in the United States, and we wouldn't have been able to do it without the assistance of the Fairview Police Department.
The city also collaborates with many, many outside organizations. This is an incredible picture. I know that this area of city really disrupted lots of people's lives as they were driving to work. These pictures really tell the whole entire story of what happened over there. And I see Fred Gauthier is here. He got to watch it day by day. As many of you will recall, heavy rains and existing erosion problems triggered the collapse of the retaining wall on Mastic Road, which also caused the edge of the Mastic Road to start to crumble. The city collaborated with the Cuyahoga County Engineers Department and County Council to fast-track this project to get we got 80% of the emergency repairs funded by Cuyahoga County. The project is now complete, and we certainly thank you for your patience on this. We are truly a city and a school system that collaborates with one another. From our joint partnership in 2005 with the historic Gemini Project to sharing our many resources as we include all age groups. Our annual Gillis Suite and St. Angela students learning about their local government firsthand as they visit City Hall every year. Our high school football team refurbishing Safety Town for the little folks of our city. Our Officer Phil program, teaching all school-age children about street, personnel, and internet safety. This program is sponsored by our Fairview Park businesses. The Fairview Park Senior High School students hosting a senior prom for our very active senior citizens. Our police department's helmet safety program. They award certificates to the kids riding their bikes with their helmets. And school fire drill and safety talks with our Fairview Fire Department. We believe when civic and educational leaders work together to put children and youth at the heart of the community, great things happen.
As part of the Fairview Advantage, we insist on teaching our students to communicate effectively, respectfully, responsibly, and appropriately in a variety of modalities and situations. We refuse to allow our students to get lost in their screens, which a lot of us always notice and complain about with our kids these days, but constantly challenge them to present their ideas and learning to real audiences, both digitally and personally. So we probably should have one of you guys come up here and do this for me instead, you think, maybe? We also heard loud and clear in our strategic planning community survey last summer that communications and community relations were considered critical items for the success of our school district. Hence, this area has grown dramatically in the past year. As a district, we've reached out to the community more than ever before. We're in the process of expanding our financial advisory community task force. This past summer, we deployed a strategic planning community survey and held 3 community forums this past fall. We formed a strategic planning steering committee, an advisory group, and action planning teams with heavy community representation. We formed 2 community curriculum advisory groups, with 2 more coming in the spring, as we just mentioned. And as I mentioned earlier also, we hosted the Regional Community Heroin Epidemic Summit and the public screening of The Most Likely to Succeed. Can you tell I like the book? I keep pushing it. Go to the library and get it. Elaine will get them to read this book. We really will. We've increased our involvement in and presentation to various community groups. Now, don't hesitate to contact my office if you'd like a presentation made on anything relating to the school district, from curriculum to school finance to activities. I've been told I'll talk about anything education, anytime, anywhere, to anyone who will listen. That is very true. We love the opportunity to reach out and spread the good news. Over the past 2 years, we've established membership in and partnerships with all of the groups throughout the city that you see, and several that are not on the screen. And most recently, we've established a Community Facilities Advisory Committee to assist with the development of a facilities master plan. Coming in April, the Facilities Advisory Committee, the FAC, we love letters, we do letters for everything. We'll be hosting community building tours and 2 community meetings to solicit input on our facilities master plan options. In addition, we have partnered with Paul Fallon Research to develop and deploy a community satisfaction survey that will take a true statistical sampling of the community and make in-person phone calls to 300 residents in the community. This survey will dive deeper and be more statistically representative than our strategic planning online survey that was conducted last summer. And your feedback is very important. So if you get a call, please don't hang up. I know we don't like phone solicitations, but this will be very important for our facilities. Let us know what you think.
Having a clear strategy to communicate with residents and keep them informed, that's not an option. We believe it's a requirement. From monthly e-newsletters to Facebook, Twitter, website, and open council or committee meetings every Monday, any resident at any time can find up-to-date information on city activities. We make it a priority to engage our residents in city events, and our city outreach programs include all ages and all subjects. From shredding and recycling days, Operation Medicine Cabinet, Chamber of Commerce Business Showcase, our Green Team activities, police ride-alongs, block party visits, Shop with the Cop, Memorial Day service and parade, Are You OK, and the Lockbox program for our seniors.
When I joined the district in August of 2014, I heard from multiple, it seems like such a long time ago, it feels like I've been here forever. I heard from multiple sources throughout the community that there is a strong desire for the Fairview Park City Schools to be leaders in education, to be an integral part of making Fairview Park not just a great place to grow, but an education destination and school district of choice in our region. We are one of only a few districts in the state who are members of the International Center for Leadership in Education. Fairview is the first school district in Northeast Ohio to commit the efforts and resources to become a one-to-one technology-based school system. We are one of the first in Ohio to join the National Future Ready Schools Initiative as we lead the implementation of personalized, research-based digital learning strategies in our classrooms from preschool to graduation. The Fairview Schools is also the first in Ohio to partner with 3D Systems, makers of the 3D printers, like the really big ones as big as this room, and implement the STEAM Tracks curriculum. STEAM Tracks prepares students for college and careers in STEAM fields, and you heard me mention that: science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, while infusing state-of-the-art 3D printing as an introduction to computer-aided design and manufacturing. Again, imagine those things being taught kindergarten to graduation.
The eroding of state funding to our community, as well as many others, transformed us to seek grants that benefit workplace safety and the community at large. We had to take the lead in searching for available grants to save taxpayers' dollars. We received over $300,000 in grants last year for shredding and recycle days, Center Ridge Road Complete Street Study, dashboard cameras and equipment in our police cars, Safe Routes to School sponsorship, Bike to School Challenge, Senior Transportation Program, manhole cover lifts for our sewer department, Grannis Park playground equipment, and hot lunches for our seniors. We have also applied for a planning grant for Lorraine Road. This grant has had overwhelming support from our Chamber of Commerce, Forward Fairview Park, and business owners alike. The study objectives are going to include developing transportation projects that provide more travel options through a complete streets program, promoting reinvestment in underutilized properties through development concepts, and providing people with a safe and reliable transportation choice that enhances their quality of life. A second goal of the study is to stimulate private reinvestment in the downtown Fairview Park district in the form of storefront renovations. Studies show that customers want to patronize stores that have curb appeal. Unfortunately, in the downtown Fairview Park district, the adjective tired has been used to describe the commercial building stock, which has become a topic of concern with our residents and the city alike. It is our hope to leverage the community in a buy-in obtained during the planning process and to encourage more property owners into reinvesting in their properties. With a little time and effort, these available storefronts, they're ripe for established small business shops and for home-based businesses seeking a commercial location. It is also the city's hope that increased foot traffic will increase patronage for the small business owners and provide incentives to enhance their storefronts. The city also intends to undertake a market study to identify business types currently unavailable in the district. This data will be leveraged to educate local property owners and assist them in securing quality tenants that provide desirable or necessary goods and services to the Fairview Park community.
Service is a very important part of the Fairview Advantage. We encourage our students to actively seek opportunities that make a positive difference in the lives of others and to always demonstrate the empathy, mindfulness, and respect we would want them to reflect. To serve as a Board of Education member and to work in the schools is to commit yourself to these pursuits each and every day. It's often common for collaboration and service to become intertwined, as you've heard us both give many examples already of how the city and the schools have worked together throughout the past year for the benefit of our residents. When the Greater Cleveland Young Marines unit had to move out of their Brook Park Command Center, for example, they reached out to Ward 4 City Councilman John Hinkle, who in turn reached out to me. After some discussions with our Board of Education, the Young Marines moved into the former New Hope Church building on West 220, and you may have seen this sign out on the street that the district uses for a terminal for a bus. The Young Marines is an official youth program and the focal point of the Marine Corps' youth drug demand reduction effort. In other words, they're really trying to get kids off drugs. Good plan. The Young Marines have been increasingly seen volunteering throughout the community in recent months as all of their activities emphasize the importance of not only service, but also honesty, courage, respect, loyalty, dependability, and a sense of devotion of God, country, community, and family. Let's just say they're really good tenants.
And at the city, I am very thankful for the dedicated employees who serve the residents of our city on a daily basis. From city council to our service, recreation, senior, building, finance, administration, and law departments, these are the people that believe public service is essential to safety, health, and welfare of a community. I would like to recognize the hard work and dedication of all of our public servants serving the residents of Fairview Park. We employ 100 full-time employees, over 100 part-time employees in the police, senior life, and right here at the Gemini Center. Our outstanding fire department has 25 firefighter paramedics and 1 clerk. On March 15th, our residents will be asked to support our fire levy renewal. This renewal will allow for the needed service to continue in our community, which included 2,306 calls for service last year. We appreciate your support to this dedicated group of firefighters. Our police department is comprised of 27 sworn officers, 2 clerks, 19 auxiliary officers, and 16 school guards. Recently, we had a number of retirements and a new era began as 4 young officers being sworn in to protect our community. We are very proud to call them members of our family here at City Hall. Both our police department and our fire department are always open. They're here to serve you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And the biggest accomplishment we got was to get this picture taken of all of them. So they did a great job.
Now for the part many of you have really been waiting for. The Fairview Park City Schools demonstrates exceptional fiscal accountability, managing an annual budget of nearly $47 million per year and employing over 250 individuals through our organization. As the largest employer in the city, the Fairview Park City Schools has a major financial impact on and responsibility to this community, and we take that responsibility very seriously. Because of our history of steadfast financial stewardship over the years, the district enjoys one of the highest bond ratings available, AA2, which basically means we have a really good credit rating. The Treasurer's Office works annually with the Auditor of State and just recently completed a full financial audit where we received a favorable review with commendations. The district also received the ASBO Meritorious Budget Award for the past 7 years and are on our way to an 8th, and that's unheard of across the state. With the support of our Financial Advisory Community Task Force and outstanding leadership by our treasurer, Amy Hendricks, and her office staff, the Fairview Park City Schools is in good financial standings. Through conservative spending and tight fiscal controls, the district was able to remain under budget again during the fiscal year 2015, while still instituting all of the critical repairs needed throughout the district that you see there, and actually many more. In 2006, the district promised to stretch the operating levy that the community passed for 5 years. We are now in year 10. With past cuts in programming, staffing, and facilities, and sometimes maintenance, the district even managed to acquire a carryover balance. However, although it's nice to report, it's very important to note that upcoming facilities renovation needs will dramatically exceed that amount, and it will likely result in a necessary bond issue or a permanent improvement levy very soon. We've been very fortunate to have a very mild winter. The boilers at the middle school, high school are on life support, and we're losing a lot of money continuously patching them up to keep the heat on. But we'll talk more about facilities in a few minutes. In addition, we have a renewal coming up in 2018. It comes around every 5 years or so. That will be critical to helping us stretch that 2006 levy a few more years. So I'm pleased to report that the current financial health of the district is good. We were under budget again in fiscal year 2015, and we're working to do the same in 16. However, we have some work to do together again in the next few years. We'll keep the belt tight, and we'll have to deal with some of the upcoming issues and work together to avoid the levy spiral this community faced back in the 1990s and early 2000s.
At the city, we also have a AA2 bond rating, which, as the superintendent said, means we have a very good credit rating. We will continue to work hard to preserve our financial stability of our community. We are pleased to share that the city received the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. This is an award from the Government Finance Officers Association and the Ohio Auditor of State Award with distinction for excellence in financial reporting this past year. These are two of the most prestigious awards that a public entity can receive, and we are very honored and proud to be a recipient of each of these awards. Today we have with us Greg Single, who is our new finance director in the back. Thanks for being here, Greg. The general fund, which is the chief operating fund for the city, had a carryover balance of $1.8 million. Estimated current year revenue are nearly $9.5 million. Revenue is generated through income tax and property tax, as you can see on the chart. The total amount available to spend is approximately $11.3 million. The projected general fund expenditures for 2016 are roughly $10.5 million. The anticipated increase in expenditures is due mainly to negotiated increases in wages and nearly a 13% increase in health care cost. City Council is currently reviewing the budget, and this must be passed by March 31st. We will continue to aggressively pursue opportunities to strengthen our city's tax base, in addition to maintaining our practice of thoroughly reviewing each and every expenditure to produce a general fund carryover balance that will meet our commitment to preserving the financial stability of our city. Over the past 5 years, we have seen very little increase in our property tax. We have been fortunate over the years not to have had school levies on our ballot, as many communities has had, to ask their electors to increase property taxes to fund the operation of their schools. As you can see on the reference chart, the City of Fairview Park in red does not have the highest property tax when compared to our neighboring communities. The chart shows that our property tax rate is slightly higher than Bay Village, but lower than North Olmsted and Lakewood.
In October of 2014, the district began the process of selecting a firm to assist with the development of a comprehensive facilities master plan. The Architectural Vision Group, AVG, was selected in May of 2015. During the summer and fall of 2015, the Ohio School Facilities Commission was engaged to conduct a full district facilities assessment. It's a very lengthy process, but it was free to the district and the community. A facilities advisory committee comprised of over 30 community members, staff, parents, students, and administrators was formed this past December and is currently working to review the conditions of various buildings, explore options, engage the community, and develop a recommendation for the Board of Education. The board hopes to approve a comprehensive facilities master plan in June. Next month, the Facilities Advisory Committee will be hosting building tours of our 3 school buildings. We encourage everyone in the community to come out for our guided tours of the buildings, especially if you've never been in the buildings or it's been a while since you've had kids in the schools. We'll show you the good, the bad, and the ugly with all of our buildings so you can have a thorough understanding of the strengths and the needs of all of our facilities. Following our building tours, we will hold 2 very important community meetings that will have the same presentation, so pick one, you don't have to go to both, where we will provide an overview of the age and condition of our facilities, review the Ohio Schools Facilities Commission assessment, and how it compares to our architect's recommended options for our buildings. We will also provide information about the funding options that we will have for renovations or rebuilding. And, most important of all, we will ask your feedback regarding our next steps. These are your buildings, and the Board of Education wants your input on how to proceed. Business cards are being distributed tonight, and I hope you all have one. I hope you all have a handful of them. Please take a few to share with your neighbors, and please join us in April, and stay tuned for more information in the coming weeks.
Last year, the city-owned football stadium received new turf and upgraded the electrical system. Equipment was purchased so our employees have the tools to better serve our residents, including 2 new trucks with plows, a tractor, a skid steer, a bucket truck, and 4 Ford Explorer police vehicles.
As part of the Fairview Advantage, we encourage everyone in the Fairview Park City Schools to reflect on the quality of their work, thoughtfully consider feedback from others, and strive to improve their strengths and weaknesses. We believe taking the time and energy to reflect on ways we can improve will always make us better at what we do. This year, we have conducted a full audit of our food services program, our special education program, our technology infrastructure, energy consumption. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot to switch over here. There we go. I guess I was okay. So, energy consumption, curriculum, finances, and facilities. Next year, we begin the Step Up to Quality daycare and preschool audit through the Ohio Department of Education. By getting a clear and accurate assessment of our programs, we can reflect on our past work and set targets for fiscal and performance improvements for the future.
As we reflect on this past year, we celebrate the many new families that have moved into our community. Over the past 5 years, our home sales have increased by 11% as these families are now calling Fairview Park their home. We also will be welcoming over 30 new families when construction of the River South Echo Homes is complete. And legislation is now in front of City Council on a brand new neighborhood of 18 single-family homes in the Coffinberry area, our first new neighborhood since the early 1990s. We certainly acknowledge the challenges that we have in our community as well, from the NASA buildings on Brook Park Road to the revitalization of Lorraine Road. But we also welcomed 28 new businesses to our community over the past 2 years, and this year we welcome HR Hospitality Restaurant Groups, Goldfish Swim School, Dollar Tree, Custom Fit Kids, Duck Duck Daycare, and the construction for the new East Coast Custard on Lorraine and West 227th that will begin this spring. A new streetscape program has been approved by ODOT and is in the planning stages this year, with construction to begin next year for Lorraine Road between West 223 and the North Olmsted border. This approximately $800,000 project will include the repair of existing infrastructure that includes sidewalks, curbs, pedestrian ramps, the replacement of catch basins, and the installation of street trees. This year, our city turns 106 years old. And I wonder what those 300 citizens who first lived here in 1910 would think of their community now. What started out as a small rural countryside town due to the non-existent roads and the beautiful valleys on our border, becoming a post-war community, to the growing city we are today, with excellent city services, an outstanding school district, a welcoming library, beautiful tree-lined streets, state-of-the-art recreation center, friendly parks, and a commercial and retail options for all of our citizens. I think that they would agree that Fairview Park is truly a great place to grow.
So what is the state of the community? We are fiscally sound, socially vibrant, and leading positive change throughout our city. We are a community united and proud to make Fairview Park a great place to grow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for attending this evening. Thank you for attending. We gave you a little peek into what the cities and the schools did last year and where we're moving forward this year. But again, it's so very important to know that this is your community. This is your city hall, this is your school district, and we welcome your input. And we are always available to take any of your comments, your suggestions, and we will make things happen around here. I'm very proud to be your mayor. I'm starting my 5th term. And I would like to make sure that everyone stays this evening. In the Willow Room, we have refreshments and desserts for everyone. And we're going to be pulling numbers for some prizes. We have some fabulous prizes, so stick around. I would like to thank Bridget Hinkle and Matt Ruby from my staff for helping put this presentation together. Thank you very much.
They did a great job. Thank you very much.
When children have internet access at home, don't be surprised when they're more confident, creative, and enthusiastic in the classroom. If your child qualifies for free school lunches, you could qualify for discounted Cox high-speed internet for only $9.95 a month. Visit connecttocompete.org/Cox or call 855-222-3252 to learn more. Cox Connect to Compete. Smart tools for school.